First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, welcome back to Fox 12 Now. We are live here in the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. This is something that we do every weekday. We start at 1 o'clock, we go throughout the afternoon, and we get to have a wide range of conversations and segments. Right now, though, we're going to talk about International Dark Sky Week. If you don't know what dark sky means, or you don't know what a dark sky sanctuary is, we will answer those questions for you here in this segment. We'll also find out about some things that you can do to participate and even join in on various events. So that's a lot to cover. To do so, we need an expert joining us, and that is why we have Jennie Sharp from Starshine here. And Jennie, thank you very much for being here on the show and being a part of this. We always appreciate having experts here to discuss this. And I think, before we even get into dark sky, could you tell us just a little bit about yourself and what Starshine is?
Well, I started Starshine about 5 years ago. It's my own little business. It's very exciting. And one of my skills is I'm an educator by trade. I'm a licensed teacher. And back in the day, I did some stargazing with kids in Yosemite National Park. And now I live in Camp Sherman, and we're very close to Sisters, an international dark sky community now, which is very exciting. And when I started Starshine, I thought about those skills that I have and really wanted to share them with more people in this amazing dark sky area. And so I started doing the tours about 4 years ago. And I do a bunch of other stuff with Starshine, but we'll just stick with the stargazing part of that, my business.
It's a lot that's happening right there. Well, talking about dark skies and being a dark sky sanctuary, and some of those areas there over by Sisters and then into Southeast Oregon, could you tell us, I guess, again, assuming that people don't know what all of this is, could you tell us what International Dark Sky Week is and why this got started?
Yes. So, International Dark Sky Week is right now. It's this week, which is exciting. It's a global awareness initiative that highlights the importance of dark skies and hopes to educate people on why they're important. And this is happening across the globe. I believe that Dark Sky International was the group that started this. I actually don't know when they started doing this, but cities and towns in Oregon are adopting Dark Sky Week this year. So it's like Sisters just adopted it this month, which is really exciting that we're getting to celebrate this year.
And when you talk about a dark sky and how a city could adopt something like that, what does that mean exactly?
So, a dark sky is a sky that doesn't have a lot of light pollution in it. So, when we look up at the sky from downtown Sisters on a moonless night, we can see the Milky Way. And that is with all of the regular city lights on in downtown. So that's what I hope other cities are shooting for when we're talking about creating dark skies in our communities or preserving the dark skies that are already there. So that's something that Sisters community members decided quite a bit ago. The work began to become a dark sky community. And it took a bunch of different people in different arenas of the town. Really, one of our high school teachers, Rima Givet, was a huge person to get this started. And they actually have an astronomy class at the high school, which is part of how a city might say, hey, we're doing continuing education about stars, and we're continuing to promote this in our community. And then another aspect of that is creating ordinances that limit light pollution and reduce light pollution.
Okay, so limiting that light pollution or reducing it, and this is something that you're encouraging different cities to adopt in order to do that, to preserve those night skies. Why is Oregon such a good place for this kind of dark sky adoption?
So we're actually a very dark state. And if you look at a map that is a map with the light in the United States, so a satellite map, seeing those lights, you're going to see in kind of the eastern half of Oregon into the Great Basin and over towards Idaho and stuff, you're going to see this big dark spot in the United States. And so like here in Sisters, we are on the edge of the darkest spot in our entire country. And so when we're talking about Oregon leveraging that, I mean, we have a really cool opportunity to preserve that darkness, and not just in small towns. I mean, there's some scientific models that folks have done, and if people in Portland, which is obviously the place with the most light pollution in Oregon, adopted some of like similar ordinances to Sisters, and everybody kind of reduced their light pollution, Portland could actually have a really dark sky. So for me, that's exciting.
So yeah, adopting those measures. Now, for somebody, which is something that from a citywide you could do, what is something that somebody at home can do to help participate and,
Yeah.
you know, and encourage a dark sky?
So, one thing that you can do is just assess your lighting, the outdoor lighting on your property. Think about, is your lighting useful? Do you need it? If you don't need it, make sure that it's off. Or if you need it intermittently, put motion sensors on that light. Think about targeting the light to where you want it only, and definitely not shooting it up straight into the sky. Thinking about a low level for your light, so only the amount of lumens that you need for your light to be useful. And then warm colors. So if we're using warmer colored lights, that is also going to reduce light pollution.
And for people who may have not experienced, you know, a full dark sky like that you may have in Central Oregon or Eastern Oregon, you know, what is that like to look up and see that many stars or the Milky Way?
I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just like talking about it because it's pretty incredible. I mean, when we look at the Milky Way, what we are looking at is the plane of our galaxy. Our galaxy is flat, and we can actually see the shape of our galaxy when we look into that band of the Milky Way. We can even see the Andromeda galaxy in a really dark sky. So that's like the only galaxy we can see outside of our galaxy. We can actually see it with our naked eye. And that's incredible. And so for me, when I look up and I see our galaxy and I see our universe, I just think about how amazing it is, how grateful I am to be a human living right now. And it also connects me with people across the globe because, I'm here in the Northern Hemisphere in Oregon, but somebody in China in the Northern Hemisphere is going to see a really similar night sky to me. And that is a pretty cool way to connect with humans across the globe.
Wow, that's really cool. And I really want to get out now to where I can see all that myself and, you know, get out into the wilderness like that, where you have these clear skies. So to that extent, what are some things that people can do to not only participate in, but maybe actually get out and go see some of these dark skies themselves if they live in an area where there may be too much light pollution currently?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one way is just to start driving out of the out of the city. Once you get away from the light pollution, you're going to be able to see a lot more stars. There, international dark sky communities. You can look those up. There are now a few in Oregon, and those are communities, that have dedicated themselves to dark skies. But there are so many places in Oregon where maybe they haven't gone through the paperwork, but they really have an incredible night sky. So I would do that. Another thing that I would do is there's a cool website called skymaps.com, and they produce sky maps that are for this month and right after it gets dark in the sky. So like the best time to stargaze, like right before we go to bed. Um, and so when we use those, when I always give those star maps to folks that come to my tours, and I teach them how to use them. It's not that hard to use them. And when you use them, you can start naming things in the sky. You can start seeing the constellations. You can also use an app on your phone. There's a myriad of free apps that help folks to pick out stars or constellations using their phone. I like to use both together because the sky map gives you like the overview of the whole sky, and the phone app will give you a pinpoint. So if you want to see the summer triangle, you can see that constellation, the whole constellation on your sky map. But then you can take your phone and you can point it right at Vega, one of the brightest stars in our summer sky, and you can be like, oh yeah, I'm seeing Vega, I know what I'm looking at. And that way you can like orient yourself to the night sky. And those maps are free, which is awesome. And I mean, otherwise it's like really you don't need a lot of equipment. I think that that is what is exciting to me about stargazing. Like if you don't have anything and you get to a dark area and you just decide to put your sleeping bag on the ground and look up into that night sky, like you're going to have an amazing experience. And then, of course, I'll put in a plug to finding a stargazing tour guide to help you, to guide you through that experience. Maybe somebody who has a telescope, or like the Sun River Observatory here in Central Oregon has like 10 amazing telescopes that you can go look through with a guide, and see those deep sky objects, which is pretty exciting. So there, you can do it with nothing, or you can plan around looking for the stars, and find a guide to help you do that.
Wow, really cool. That's exciting stuff. So any final thing that you think is important for people to know?
Well, I think one exciting thing that we're doing here in Sisters is Explore Sisters and the Sisters Astronomy Club and Starshine. We are putting on some free dark sky parties. So if you happen to be in Sisters this summer, we're doing 5 of them starting in May, ending in September. And you can then have that dark sky experience in downtown Sisters with a tour guide and then a bunch of volunteers with telescopes. So you'll be getting a premier experience of the sky with guides, and you'll get it for free. So that's pretty exciting.
That's really cool. Well, and how can people get a hold of you?
So you can find me on the internet. Starshine-theater.com is the best way to find me, and all of the information about our tours are on there.
All right. Well, Jennie, thank you so much. Very informative and exciting. And I want to get out into the wilderness now and get over
Awesome.
there to go camping.
You should do it.
And, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. In the meantime, thank you so much, though, for joining us here on Fox 12 Now. Really appreciate everything that you've shared here in your time today.
You're welcome. Take care, everybody.
And for everybody watching, we're going to take a quick break. We have our next guests waiting, so we're going to get them on here for you, talking to Legacy about their regions partnership. So switching gears, we cover a wide range of topics here on Fox 12 Now. So we'll talk to you here in just a couple of minutes with more.